Good morning to all the fellow freedom seekers. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you paused, not to plan, not to hustle, but to feel grateful for how far you've come? Because if you're walking the solopreneur path, you already chose something rare and courageous. You chose to believe in your own vision, to create your own rhythm, to trust your own voice, even when the world told you to follow the script. And yes, it's hard, but it's also full of beauty, magic, and meaning if you know where to look. So in this video, I want to take a moment with you to honor the journey, the messy, brave, powerful one you're on. Here are 10 things I've learned to be truly thankful for as a solopreneur. So the first thing that I want to mention here is the freedom to create. You can create whatever product you want. And this is the beauty of being an entrepreneur. Like in my case, I sell my book, I sell my course, and this is, you don't have anybody else rules how you do it, there's a lot of freedom here just to do the way you want. This is very special, I think, and entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but for those who crave freedom, the freedom to create is an important point. The second freedom I want to mention here is the time freedom. You're flexible with your time. You can work whenever you want. One day you work a lot, the other day you're free, something like that. And you can really decide you work in the evenings or in the mornings, depending if you're a night person or a morning person, like that. I used to work a lot at night, actually, but then I could feel it's not so good for my eyes. So now I'm trying to always, and I'm also very sensitive to sun. Even though today is not so sunny still, I can feel it, very sensitive to that. So basically I decided to, at least I try to work during the daylight. The next thing is personal growth. For me, I'm quite obsessed with personal growth, everything which is related to personal development. And here every challenge is a lesson, every win is a celebration. Yeah. And I'm so obsessed with personal development that I have a lot of also videos on this channel where I talk about personal development also. So maybe I will link them somewhere here. You can check them out. And also my book is called Personal Development Algorithm. Basically it's a biography and also a lot when it comes to personal development. So it can really kind of help you, make this next step towards your personal development, personal freedom. If you're interested in this book, check it out. It's on Amazon. In the description below is the link. Yeah, and I hope this book can inspire you to make the next step on your journey to personal development and freedom. The next, freedom to be thankful for is the creative control over your work. You are the boss, you are the strategist, you are the creator. Being a solopreneur gives you a lot of freedom. You are anyway the only creator of your reality and your own life. So, and here again, you can exercise the freedom of creating and controlling your business the way you want. And isn't that beautiful? Cheers. The next thing to be thankful for, and this one I really love, is the real connection to your audience. No middleman. You are there answering the comments of the people directly, and I love this. I love when you leave me comments. I love to answer those comments, to have this privilege, to answer your comments personally, because big channels, for example, they don't have this privilege. Big YouTube channels, they have some person in the team answering the comments. I hope I'm not, disappoint somebody with this idea, but this is true, you know. Big creators are not able to do it themselves because they are just too busy, you know, with other things, and there are too many comments. And of course, some big creators are still solopreneurs, and they just leave comments not answered in most of the time. This is also a possibility to do like that. But yeah, I enjoy also this possibility to answer comments directly and having this dialogue with you. And I would love you to leave me a comment, you know, how do you like this video? Like anything regarding this video. Do you find it's interesting and valuable that being a solopreneur has so many advantages? Even though there are also many like dark points, like the dark side of the story. And I was talking about it in my previous video. If you haven't checked it, I will link it somewhere here, you know. Also at the end of this video I can link it, because there is also the dark side of the story, you know. Being an entrepreneur, there are so many things you have to be aware if you want to go on this path, you know. It's like the other side of the coin. It's fine, you know. It's good to be transparent. So this video is about the great points, but there are also other things. So make sure you also check that other video of mine after you watch this one till the end. The next point that I want to mention here is that you learn lessons from failures. Yeah, being a solopreneur, being a creator, you have to really learn from your mistakes, because you don't want to repeat them. Yeah? You really don't want to repeat your mistakes. I already mentioned in some of my videos that the first business I started, I failed. I was not passionate about it, but I learned the lesson, and now all I'm talking about is how important it is to be passionate about your business, because it's a long-term game. And if you're not passionate, you're not going to sustain this business. Yeah? So you learn lessons, and this is great, because as a solopreneur, this is like, again, as I mentioned, every lesson, every challenge is a lesson. So you grow a lot. And this really brings me to the next point, and this is this flow of working when you just forget the time because you're doing what you love. I really love, you know, inspiring people, showing them their power, their potential, what they can do, what they can bring to the world. And I'm so passionate about it that when I work, I sometimes really forget the time. So it's a good idea to have some routine when it comes to work, because otherwise late in the evening sometimes I really want to work. I'm so excited about the next project, the next idea, the next, you know, and I don't always manage to implement everything I'm thinking about. I also don't always manage to share everything that's happening to me, but this feeling of just being in the flow and enjoying doing what you love is a great freedom, is something to be really thankful for as a solopreneur. The next freedom that I really like about being a solopreneur, and this ability to pivot. You don't like what you're doing, you can change it any moment. I've been changing and, you know, adjusting the things I'm doing all the time, actually. I don't know if you noticed or not, but it's totally fine. You don't have to be stuck in one thing and be stubborn to to pursue something that doesn't work or you're not passionate about anymore. But don't confuse it with not being stubborn enough to pursue what you actually think you're passionate about. You should be pursuing. You shouldn't quit just because it doesn't work. Try from the other angle, And again, many people quit, and this is the problem. But I mean pivot, not quit, but pivot. You could change basically everything. You can change your product, you can change your marketing, you can change, slowly you can also change the audience, because you want to work with somebody else. And this freedom to do like you want is quite extraordinary, This is not something you get if you work somewhere. Even if you work like some creative director somewhere, you have to fit to the company anyway, so it's not the way that you're just doing what you want. The next freedom is to build your own community. Not just, without a middleman, but the fact that you can create your own community. Your clients, your followers, your collaborators, your partners. And this is the most valuable, actually, that what we are doing, because then you can really influence for the better. Then you can really help people because you inspire them, or you show them the way, you teach them something, or you just share, and this helps. There are many people who are going through the same thing, and if they see that somebody is going on this path, and no matter what happens, the one is sticking to it, this is very inspiring, because this makes people think, okay, then I'm also not quitting, Community is everything. You learn a lot. It's a big power when we come together. I always love to hear, what you have to say. Your comments to this video. I would love to hear from you what you're thinking. What you're thinking about this video. It's a little bit spontaneous. It's a little bit like, the journey itself. The journey itself. It's brave, it's beautiful, and it's worth it. So the journey itself is also a value and a freedom that the solopreneur gets on the way. It's worth it, and at the same time is not for everybody. So that's why this community is not for everybody. This channel is all about building freedom in life. It's for those who seek freedom, for free thinkers, So if you would like to join me on this journey towards freedom, where I share my journey, and I would love you to, take part in this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments about your, what you find valuable as a solopreneur, if you're a solopreneur or if you aspire to become one. If you want to start a business as a solopreneur but you have no idea what to start with, then check out my free training in the description below. Just have an hour so that you can really figure out what is that genius in you that you can share with the world and help other people. And if you're already building your freedom, solo, then just relax, breathe, and remember how far you've already come, and value that. Please drop me a comment. What is your number one reason to be thankful for on this journey? And see you in the next video.